Well, good day to you and welcome to Search for Signs. My name is Gary Willing, and as always, I want to welcome you to this channel and hope that you find this information interesting enough to do one thing, and just one thing only. Pursue it a little further and check out some of the information on the site Share International. Check out some of the other sites that I have links for in the description portion of these videos. That's what I'm hoping for, that you find it interesting enough to at least do that. If you want to come back and join the discussion, let me know what you think. Post a comment. You can ask a question by posting your question in the comment section, or you can email me at searchforsigns@mail.com and get that question to me, and then I'll try to answer it in the next video. Now, this particular video is going to be different than what I normally put up, because when I normally put up a video, I'm responding to either a comment or a question that you guys, the listeners, bring to my attention. And then if it pertains to what I talk about, and I think we can learn from the comment or the question, I always try to answer the question, but if we think we can learn from the comment or two, I'll try to address it in that way and maybe learn a little bit more about Maitreya and the Masters of Wisdom, about the purpose of those masters being here, about the future of humanity and that kind of thing. And I try my best to answer these questions. I'm not saying that I'm the best at doing it, but I'm at least giving it a good college try, as they say. Now, this particular video, I wanted to kind of shift gears and talk about something that I find very, very near and dear to my own heart. And not only does it rhyme with heart, it rhymes with another word, but I'm kidding. No, that we use all the time. But no, it is art. That's what I was trying to say. And it's a relation to the esoteric teachings. But Benjamin Creme was quite an extraordinary individual, and he really was probably the most influential person in my life. He didn't set out to be influencing people or be, a mentor in a way for myself personally, but he ended up being that for me. But when I started out, in high school playing music, and my intention was to become a full-time musician, which I did for a time, and I made money playing music and stuff, and I love music. I love listening to music and those kind of things, but later on in life, I started to really notice paintings. And this was even before I knew Benjamin Crème, who was an artist. But he was the one that really, I think, injected that interest. He injected steroids into that interest, and it just really boom, it just exploded in me. This interest in art, this love in art, this, affinity to, and the hunger to see different paintings and experience different types of paintings from different types of individuals in the past, present, and that kind of thing. But his work was quite extraordinary, because he started out painting as a young man and set out to make a career out of it. And to some extent he did. He actually was a painter, and that's how he made his money. And he let it all go. He sacrificed his love of painting. And if you knew Benjamin Crème, like I know some of you who listen to my podcasts knew Benjamin Crème very well, you would say the same thing. He loved art. He loved art. And he explained paintings from like the Renaissance period better than any art historian I've ever heard, because he had such a insight into the thinking of the artist based on their energetic quality, based on who they were as a disciple, based on the meaning of the painting, whatever it happened to be. He had such a perception and an insight into what the painters were doing, such as Rembrandt or Leonardo da Vinci or El Greco or whatever, that he really brought art to life for me personally. And I know he did it for others too, but I'm just speaking for myself. I'm not speaking for them. And it really just, that a love of art really exploded in me when I got around Ben. And it became such a love and a fascination that I tried to dabble in art myself from time to time. And I love painting. I feel really close to God when I paint, to be honest. It's probably the closest that I ever feel to God is when I'm painting. I can do a lot of other things, but when I do that, that's when I just let go of everything and I'm just in the moment and I'm being creative. That's when I feel truly, truly, truly at one with God, as far as I'm concerned. Now, Ben started painting under the inspiration and guise of and muse of his master, who was his muse, used to plant ideas in him to paint. And he said he saw it as like little glimpses of and little flashes of the painting that were alive and were moving, but yet, and then he tried to paint it and set out to paint these different, very, I think, very esoteric concepts and very difficult concepts to comprehend, because they're you have to use your intuition to understand some of these esoteric concepts that he was reading, but he put it forth in art. And it all started, he said, when he was reading the Van Gogh letters to his brother. And in one of those letters, Van Gogh talked about the art of the future, and it inspired him to become even more of a painter and to really look at combining his spiritual nature, his understanding of the Ageless Wisdom Teachings, and putting it into art. And he, I think, is the first person to do this. I think there'll be other artists that do it in the future, but Ben was the first one to really do it, in this way. Now, he would say that the Renaissance painters were doing it in their own way, bringing in esoteric and Ageless Wisdom Teachings into their paintings, which is true. But Ben's paintings are even entitled, with the name that in the title is the esoteric concept a lot of the times, or the esoteric truth that he's trying to paint. These other masters would paint, a painting of Jesus on the cross, or as in the case of Andres Mantegna, painting the time that Jesus turned water into wine, and that symbol, and what that symbol really meant, the esoteric symbol of that, what it meant, not that Jesus performed that miracle, but it had to do with John the Baptist and Jesus were a member of this masculine order called the Essenes, and they wanted women to be included in it. So they were the first feminists that we can think of, that we know of, because they were wanting women to have the same rights as men, to be able to come in and study and learn the truths that the Essenes were teaching. And unfortunately, they weren't successful in their intent, but because the others, members of the Essene order, didn't want women in there. But that was what that symbol meant in the Bible. And so when Andres Mantegna was painting that painting, he was painting it with the intention of the true meaning of what it meant to turn water into wine in the Bible when Jesus did that, meaning that it was, really the equality between men and women. Quite an extraordinary thing. So Ben's insight into some of these painters from the past, like I said, you don't get it from any other art historian. And I'm speaking for the others who, in the Share International group, who were around Ben when he was talking about these painters and some of these paintings. I'm sure you felt the same way I did. I felt it was the most extraordinary experience, for one thing, but I felt truly blessed to be able to hear that from him in that way, and to learn and appreciate art in a way that most people don't appreciate yet. Now, what I wanted to do, this video is just going to be an introduction to this new type of video that I'm going to be doing, but I'm going to be putting up short videos reading about Benjamin Creme's paintings to help give you a better understanding of Benjamin Creme, the understanding of his wisdom and his insight into art and so forth. So hopefully you'll appreciate it. Hopefully you'll check out some of these videos that I put up, and I look forward to putting them up real soon. Love you guys. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Remember to take action and help SOP save our planet. Thanks for listening, and we look forward to talking to you again in future videos.